our actual play here on High Shelf Collective. I'm your games master, Doc Rimbo. I use he, she, or they pronouns, and I am joined by a fabulous group of delving weirdos. Well, the characters are, well, the real people are weirdos too. We're not kidding anyone. Let's be honest. Just different flavors of weirdo. So I thought maybe we could start by going around and putting names to these human faces that are on the screen right now. Everyone, we're going to do a little intro. Tell us who your character is, anything you think we should know about them. Like if they have a six-legged possum, what is that possum's name? And other stuff. And then answer the following question. What is your character afraid of? So do they have a fear? Do they suffer from a chronic fear? Or are they just, afraid of dying alone like all of us? Okay, so let's start at the top of the screen by she who crochets. They crochets. Crochets. Amber, crochets? Is that a thing?
It is now.
Amber, is crochets a thing for non-binary people who crochet?
It is now.
Okay, all right, good. Amber, introduce yourself and tell us your possum's name.
Damn. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am a Emmy-winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer. And I now, listen, I'm bringing to you Anais Piaget, a drow heartsong witch who is now the proud mother of Helldiver the Possum.
Helldiver the Possum. Yes, Helldiver the heart-splitted possum with 6 legs and human eyes.
Almost forgot a mohawk.
And a mohawk, right? We gave them a mohawk. Almost forgot that they have human eyes, which is, I think, the most upsetting thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that detail, Doc. So thank you for that.
Welcome. Awesome, thank you. We missed you last week, and we're glad that you're back. We're glad that
I love having a chronic illness.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Chronic illness team. What? Our friend Ali is not going to be with us tonight, so that black screen is in memoriam until next week when he comes back. So let's keep moving down the ladder here, and we'll go talk to Sid of the Sid Sibs. Hi, Sid.
Hi.
How are you?
Sid and the Sib Sibs. We're starting a band. Hey.
Yeah.
I'm Christina Sid. We really could. There are 6 of us. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid. And I will be portraying Jezzy, our Noel Heartsong deep apiarist, aka
what's a deep apiarist?
I got bees in my chest.
Yes, magic bees. You replaced part of your body with bees.
Yep. And say hi to Larry.
You. And Larry is here, your friend who was turned into a dung beetle.
Yep.
All sorts of bugs happening. I forgot to ask, so I have to jump back. Amber, what's Anais afraid of? Is Anais afraid of?
Well, she's not really afraid of death. In fact, she embraces death very, very handily. But what I think it is afraid of is, actually, this is a good one. What Anais is also afraid of is the void, like nothingness.
The absence of anything. Yeah.
Right, because everything about decay and death and the cycle of life implies that there is something always to carry on to and continue. Right. But if there's nothing, what is this all for?
Yeah. And she sort of comes from a background that might have something to say about that too. So that's troubling. Sid, what's Jezzy afraid of?
Jezzy is afraid of a lot of things.
Oh no.
But she's a little anxious and neurotic, if you haven't caught on to that by now. But I think she's most afraid of losing more friends.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to say bees.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a complex for her, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's really bad. Oh man, what a life. Kidokes. Let's move over to RJ of Shoebill, the leader of the Trashmonculus cult. Last week we established that Shoebill has magic headphones.
Yeah.
which is pretty great.
And they sing about the situations at hand.
They narrate the situation in hand because they're full of gods. And so, what do you do with that?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm RJ. Today I'm playing Shoebill the Junk Mage. He's basically a bard at this point, trying his best out here in the heart. Yeah.
If you want to rename his class Junk Bard, that would be fine. But it's very close to Junk Barge, which is like a boat with junk on it.
Scrap bard. Scrap
There we go.
barge?
Scrap Bard, like scrapyard, but with a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. What is Bill afraid of?
Not being in control of his own body.
Oh, being okay. All right.
And an irrational fear of chunklas.
And what?
Especially chunklas, especially the ones that are already in motion.
Okay. Chunklas.
They're slippers that
Gotcha.
abuelas will throw at you from across
Gotcha.
the room.
Okay, great.
That transcends that particular culture. My
That's
yaya would do
childhood
the
trauma,
same thing.
yeah.
The Greeks are all about it.
All
too.
grandmothers are proficient in throwing slipper.
Yes, correct.
Fantastic. Well, somebody else who's proficient in throwing slippers is our friend Derek. Derek, howdy.
Howdy. Hi, my name is Derek from Atop Derek Mountain, where I play this wonderful elf here, who's a Vermisian knight named Winds of the Wind. And yeah, he's afraid of a few things, but the one thing that he's definitely afraid of is people vomiting.
Oh, that makes sense. That tracks because of like that major traumatic moment in his life.
Yes, indeed. He also watched somebody vomit while being a Vermisian knight, traveling into, of course, the awful dusty dark of the heart. He's seen many people be sick from seeing all the type of things in the world, but vomiting in one's mask.
Oh, because Elfie all wear masks. Oh, yeah.
Jessie apologizes for the honey thing. She didn't know.
That's like a productive vomit, though.
It's true.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Well, I will definitely not put that in here anywhere. And finally, Benji. Hi, Benji. Is Toby afraid of anything as somebody who survived both childhood celebrity and death to come back again? Is there anything left?
Toby, our drow heartsong deadwalker, tells everybody that he's afraid of snakes, but he's not afraid of snakes. He's actually afraid of dying without figuring out what his purpose in life is.
Fat mood.
Sad boy, singular this week. That
Yeah.
sad little boy. All right. Well, last week on Heart, the City Beneath Red Heaven, our group found themselves facing off with the Vermisian Night Watchman, a giant heart-warped construct of train parts who guarded the place where the Eastern Express and, they later found out, the Delving Machine were both constructed by a team of human arcane engineers 150 years ago. They stood face to face with it. Some of them went in face first and with a knife like Elric and jumped on the back and stabbed it or shot it with their guns. Others tried to stand their ground, some with more success than others. But eventually the creature was brought low and stripped for parts and left there as the party moved on. They found in an area of the heart that resembled being in an outdoor marsh, the place where the Eastern Express train had crashed, because everyone aboard apparently had been poisoned with this Aelfir ritual poison called Blessed Forgiveness. And all of them had been sealed in this train car like a tomb for the last 150 years, and their ghosts were not happy about it. But fortunately, the group was able to talk the ghosts down just a little bit, reminding them of their humanity, and what little of that they had left sort of came around, and they told the group that they had been poisoned, betrayed by somebody named Eremos. And the rest of the group promised to seek revenge on their behalf so that they could be laid to rest. But just as they did that, the ground opened up in a huge whirlpool and sucked them down into darkness. And the next thing they knew, they were far away. It was a seashore, a pebbly, sandy seashore. The sky above was a dark red, as many of the outdoor-ish spaces of the heart are. And there on the shore was a big lighthouse with heart tendrils trying to creep up and claim it as magic kept buffering it back. And out where the water would typically be on a beach, they could see worms. Just huge worms some the size of like your arm, so small, but some of them human-sized or bigger, writhing around, forming this semblance of water. And they were approached by a man who introduced himself as a Howie, this Aelfir fisherman who he has like a big pole, but it's like a fishing, like a whaling spear. You know, it's got like a hook on it. And he approached and seemed almost like he was expecting them a little bit, or like he knew more than he was letting on, but told them they had made it to the Amyrran Zone, the wound inside the heart, and that they were welcome to stay at his lighthouse for as long as they needed. So you did. You spent the night at this lighthouse, which was called the Lighthouse. This slightly askew black and white lighthouse that stands watch over the Wormsea near the village of Prostmuth in the Amyrran Zone. And the next morning comes. Maybe last night you were so tired you just slept right away. It was a long day. But as you wake up one by one and make your way out of the sleeping room downstairs into the main room, Howie has made tea for everyone and has fried up some sort of meat that is on the table. Who's the first to come downstairs?
Probably Jazzy. She wakes up early.
Howie's already up, sort of going around doing things, and looks at you and says, "Hello."
Oh, good morning. Thanks again for letting us stay here.
Yes, you're welcome. Help yourself to some food if you want.
Okay. I mean, if we're gonna be guests here, I like to pull my weight.
Hmm. Could find a way to address that.
Great.
But for now, make yourself comfortable. I want to talk with everyone else once they're awake. Do they usually sleep in this long?
It depends. We kind of fought a big robot monster, and then we kind of fought some big trees with hands. No, we didn't fight the trees. I got a tree. It's in my pocket. But we fought some like leech things in there, and it kind of ate on my hands. And then we found an old train station and had to talk down some ghosts. And then we got sucked through the ground and ended up here. I say all that to say it's been a bit of a long day.
He doesn't seem phased by any of this. Just like, There is a small garden outside if you want to look for a place to plant your hand tree.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll just grab a snack and I'll get started on that while everyone's waking up.
Mm-hmm. Grab some of the meat. It's all it's out. It's like slabs of meat, like almost like spam like cuts. You know?
Love it.
Yeah. Who else is waking up?
Wines rolls like stumbling down said stairs down to this room, and he's like, how does anybody sleep with all that consistent wriggling outside? Oh my god.
After a while, you don't hear it anymore. Just sort of becomes like white noise, lulls you to sleep.
All that squish puts you to bed.
I think this is when Anais actually comes out and is just like, oh my gosh, did anybody else feel like their head and their brain was fully massaged by whatever like weird, consistent, droning, squishing noise was going outside?
You see, she gets it.
It was like so, the repetition was just so delicious and indulgent.
Oh my god.
Almost like we're in the middle of the heart.
Well, in a sense, we are.
We are.
Shubel is coming down the stairs. Right, the zone that equates to the bleeding wound of the heart caused by the delving machine. Whew.
Yes, it's a good recap.
From the headphones, you just hear, undulation's the word you're looking for.
Where are the others, the two young men who are sad all the time?
I think that's right when you see Toby coming down the stairs. Not a morning person. Probably plagued with nightmares and orphan children. So
Probably.
coming down the stairs.
Where are the orphan children now? And what are they doing?
The orphan children are tempting the worms in the sea with sticks.
You look out this little window. It's just a small, like a tiny little window, and you see just up and down like a line of like ghost children sort of poking at the worms. Fantastic. I love that. I love that image.
That's a great image.
As Jesse finishes planting the tree, comes back inside, and Elric sleeps in a little longer. Now he says, I was meaning to ask, does one of you have either a six-legged possum or some small people who look like they're made of garbage? They were wrestling outside this morning when I woke up.
Oh, gods, hold on.
They were wrestling without Shubel.
There is a quick jab, a thunk, and she'll be like, fuck! As he forgets that Wines is wearing armor right now.
You're doing, not mine. Better
You'll
go
go.
find your kissy pets.
You'll go shoo the trash monkeys away from Helldiver.
I think like as soon as you walk outside, for some reason the trash monculi, now there's 3 of them. For some reason the trash monculi always like to stay a distance away from you. They're always on the periphery. So as soon as you walk outside, they like back off like 100 yards or something like that and watch you from like over a ridge.
Just gets down. Helldiver, it's time for some food. Your parent calls for you.
He comes inside, crawls up to Anais, wraps himself up around one of her legs.
Yes, Helldiver. Anais like, it takes a second to like be like, oh yay, the possum's still here, but then scoops it up just like a little baby.
It
Yours
seems
is so
very
lovely.
happy about this. Puts its little pink hands up
No. All
and
I
then
hear
looks at Bill with its human eyes.
all I hear are pug grunts.
Oh God!
Oh no. Like the
Oh no, that's too
Yeah.
good. That's too good.
the worst.
There's a big table for everyone to sit at, and as how he pours tea for everyone, he
Gotta
says,
feed Larry.
"Yep, we all got pets now. Who don't have pets? You got ghost children, you got a possum, You got pig face boy. You got
We got
boy face pig.
trash
Yeah,
homunculi.
boy-faced pig.
I think
Mhm,
Elric's
trash
the only
monkey
one
eye,
without
yeah,
a
Poor
pet.
We
Elric.
got bees.
Just his grief.
Bees. Just his grief. Just his grief.
That's
I'm
the
pretty
mission,
sure you're
get
supposed to
Elric
call
a
them dependents, not pets.
Sorry. Correct.
Dependence.
The pet.
So most people who end up here don't do so on purpose, but usually have a reason for going towards the center of the heart. What are you doing? What is your intended destination?
Oh no, this was on purpose. We did this to ourselves.
For once.
You are a fool.
A fool? How
Go
are we
into
a fool?
place like
Now
this.
enjoying your hospitality. This makes us foolish.
No. But to go into the Amyrran Zone is, there are plenty of people here who have entered it now, are unable to leave. This whole area of the heart is festering. It is not right. If you think the regular heart is weird, wait until you explore the Amyrran Zone. Strange things, time looping back on itself, encountering people who look like you but aren't you.
Howie, question.
Hmm.
Is the Amyrran Zone anywhere near Mourner's Close?
Oh, Mourner's Close. Yes, that's not far from here.
What's that?
I
is,
need to speak with the Prophet Jagad.
I have never been myself, but I think some of the people up at the Wormery have been there before, if you want to ask.
The
And
what?
He gestures like up the hill. And do you remember seeing this place as you entered for the first time? It sort of has the vibe of being a factory, you know? It has like smokestacks and stuff at the top of it. But it's also it's got like big gates, and how he says the Wormery is well, we all survive here on the worms. So the first people who came here found that the heart's power here was very effective, and it started to change you more potently than anywhere else. And the people who lived here soon found that the only way to withstand that would be to, well, the worms have the natural ability to repel it with their skin.
So you eat the worms?
He looks at the meat on the table you've all been eating. He says, But also, and you realize now that like how he kind of has this like loose fitting clothing, but it's almost got this like sort of fine leather vibe to it. And he's like, yes, but you should see the Wormery for yourself. I don't want to spoil it for you. But there are plenty of people there. It's the closest thing we have to a community.
So is it like a sort of standard factory like outline, or is it a little wormy Wonka?
It's just part factory, but also, have you ever seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen them on the show, yes.
You know those places on the outer rim that kind of have the vibe of being a place that's sealed off from the outside world because, they have airlocks and things. But inside it's very cramped and everyone's all crowded together like refugees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it. But it also kind of feels like being in a big blanket fort. Who wants more tea?
I would love another cup, please. Wines is like trying to pour it into his mask, just falling all over.
Don't worry, the tea is not made from worms.
What is it? If it's not made out of worms, so what is it made out of?
Chamomile.
Oh, okay. Refreshing. I see your elf-ear tastes are definitely high in accord. Howie. What does Wine's kind of like throws one leg over in a very elfier, like uppity way. It's kind of the first time you see him do this, by the way. Throws his leg up
Yeah.
over his other leg and holds it to you.
Very fancy.
What would the 80th day on the 173rd year mean to you?
Sounds like a way that somebody would measure their lifespan. Some people have names for years. I don't know what year it is where you come from, but we've lost track of those here.
I see. Inside of this area across the way, the Festival of Unsettling Imagery is something you celebrate around here. I mean, there's a bunch of these worms over here. It's already abundantly unsettling. But this is something you do.
He thinks, he's like, not here, but I did not always live here. I used to live in Spire, and I remember this festival.
Oh, so you are from the up above.
Long ago, and other places.
So how the hell did you get here?
Probably like you. Went off looking for something in the heart and found myself trapped on this side of the wound.
Probabilities aren't necessarily dealing in finites. I don't like maybes and probabilities.
Well, you're going to have a problem with me then. I'm very vague and mysterious about a lot of things.
That sucks.
And he says, yes, I remember that. What year is it where you come from? And you remember that technically the year it was when you left home or whatever is the year of riddled myth was the name of it. And if you say that to him, he says, oh, no. The year of the festival, that was the same year as the Vermisian project was launched. And you all know that to be 150 years ago.
Yeah, that was 150 years ago.
Well, maybe not. Like I said, time is weird.
Do you know how old you are?
As old as I feel, I think. That is what people say.
That's a good way to take it.
Yeah,
Have
that's a
you-
wonderful way of looking at it.
Thank you.
Since time is all wibbly wobbly here, maybe you've heard of or run into someone named Brightness Sears the Eye.
He thinks about it for a moment and he says, no, I can't say I do. Does sound like an Aelfir name.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody at the Wormery knows them. They too started in Spire or the Eastern Kingdoms or elsewhere, then ended up here. Or even some gnolls.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jess, what was the name of that one? Whoa, sorry, accent slip.
It's contagious.
Oh,
I get
forgot to say, sometimes the Amyrran Zone gives you southern accents.
Oh, that's weird.
it. I'm ahead of the game. All right.
Yes,
Well,
you
ain't
are.
bastard shit.
Well,
Oh,
shit.
every region has a south.
You're in
Florida, the more north you get, the more southern it gets. Jess, what was the name of your friend with the gun?
Oh yeah.
Since time is all wibbly wobbly down here.
What was her name? I totally forgot.
name was a beggar thunder chaser.
I think her
The
name
one
was,
who worked for the Ptolemy Bay Corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Any-
her name was a beggar.
Yeah. Any rough individuals come through here before us?
With guns.
Lots of them.
This is the part where I see something very vague, like that sounds like everybody.
A lot of people
More-
got guns here.
Everyone has guns here, farmers and their mothers.
Mama's mothers.
Do you have anything else to go on? What did
Mamas,
this person look like?
Mamas,
or-
and mamas.
Moms.
Wise would try to describe the insignia that bared on the.
Yeah. on the Ptolemy Bay logo.
Yeah, the Ptolemy Bay logo, yeah.
Like, even if you just mention that, he's like, Ptolemy Bay. That name is familiar, but no, we haven't seen anyone like that. But I live a pretty quiet life. I mostly keep to the worm fishing. It's not really fishing, it's worming, but that sounds gross.
How does that work? Do you put fish on your bait as bait and then throw it in, or?
I can show you if you want.
Sure.
I'm going to go out fishing after we eat.
Yeah, that
Actually
sounds
was
great.
interested.
Actually,
All right.
actually, that sounds great. That sounds great.
Oh,
Did
goodness, I'm going to
Wines
need a
just
bigger
say
slime raft.
Did Wines just say something sounded great?
He's being corrupted.
I smack him. No.
The
Get
teeth
over
fly.
yourself, man.
The teeth flies out of the hand. Oh no! The teeth dribbling out of the mask. Like,
I don't need
it's one
blood
way less
samples or your fillings to know that you're the imposter.
Anais actually takes out the journal that they've been like, jotting notes in this entire time, and it goes, "Today's date, Captain's log. Wines said something was great, and it was said without a hint of irony."
You circle it on your calendar.
That
Howie
was
walks over
genuine
to a
truth.
calendar on the wall, and it's got it's got a picture of the 1770s Boston for some reason, and he circles today's date on the calendar.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go pack the cat and have it, and the habit. Let's go.
Mhm.
Let's go fishing.
Park the car and play some put cards in the yard.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
anybody who's
That
not
sounded just straight
interested
up
in
British.
anybody who's not interested in going out on a slime raft and wrestling with worms, there is a small village in Prostmuth, but not much to speak of. Mostly just traders passing through a few houses.
Is that where I would find the Prophet Chagad?
Oh no, this place that you're speaking of, Mourner's Close. I've heard about it, but like any place in the heart, I think that you'll only know how to get there once you start looking.
Do you want to go after some fishing, Toby?
Sure, let's go wrestle some worms.
Yeah.
So he gets out.
Fishing
Fishing sim. How he gets out his deluxe size slime raft, which deluxe size enough for 6 people. Elric is a hard pass.
He's got a little bit of fever.
You see Elric standing on the shore by the hand tree with his fists on his hips and his arms akimbo. Like, I'm not going out there. And you all set aboard this raft, and you see now that up and down the shore are these capstans, which are like, those big, not cylindrical, but near concave cylindrical things that are on like piers and docks and stuff that you wrap ropes around.
Yeah.
And Howie sort of wraps a rope around one and takes the other end and like ties a knot, and then takes the other end of the rope with him onto this raft. And basically all he does is like run and push the raft, and it's toward this this sea of like writhing worms with like pointy mouths. And as soon as the raft hits the water, it just slides out. This grossness as it like slides across, and below are thousands of these creatures, all diving and surfacing and biting each other. There is no water. It's just worms.
I take it back. I want to go back to shore.
Too late now. We're already out here. You should have thought of that first.
You've committed to the
We're in it
worm
now.
Lock in.
Howie hands out beginner whaling hooks or worming hooks to everyone. Like, my first worming hook, everyone gets one. And he says, all right, just single one out. Sometimes if you have a little meat to put on the end of a stick, it can attract them. They're mostly trying to eat each other, but the biggest ones are at the bottom, because the bottom is where the heart's blood comes through when they want to get to it. So sometimes when you see a big one come to the top, just sort of grab it with the hook and try to pull it on board the raft.
Okay.
So anyone who wants to try this, keep in mind there's stress here, right? If you fail, but if you succeed, I mean, you get to like pull a worm on to the raft and slaughter it here.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Mm.
Absolutely. Sign me up. This is so good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so just like any old role, you tell me what kind of role are you going to make here to try and hook a worm?
I would like to use hunt wild, as these are sort
Mm.
of wild aminals.
Okay.
Or I could do hunt occult if these are more of magical animals.
Less occult. They're more cursed than they are occult.
Gotcha.
Hey.
So I would say hunt wild works.
Okay.
So hold on before you do that.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
so Doc, let's say hypothetically, there is a witch
Mhm.
on board this little raft
You
that
don't have
has
to
the
say that. You're
ability.
one. Your character is one.
Yeah, but let's just say hypothetically,
Mhm.
that they have the ability to cast a spell to make the area we're in gain the occult domain so that Jesse can roll with occult.
Yeah, you could do that. Absolutely. And if you want to share the stress, that would be considered helping too. But you
Yes.
would share on a failure. You would both take the stress.
It's worth it to make sure that we get these little wiggly boys on board.
If you're for it, I'm for it. Let's do it.
Go for it. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're rolling with a +1 from Anais,
I love it.
Um,
I love it.
Yeah.
giving
It's
this
a
full
syndicy.
vibes. Yeah.
All right. We're doing hunt.
So basically, if you haven't watched before, we're rolling a bunch of d10s and we're trying to get a 7 or 8 is a success with stress, a 9 or 10 is a complete success. So we're trying to roll high on one of these die. We're going to take the highest one.
Here we go.
Here we go. One more time.
Oh, a 10, a critical success. Rich, can we put that up on the screen?
Yes, here we
Just
go.
so everyone can see how well Sid did at rolling a 10. Fantastic.
I rolled 2
Yes.
10s.
You did, you 10-10. So basically, you see one come up and you reach out and it like bites onto the hook. So like it's like, oh, they're hungry today, and you just pull it up on board, and Howie takes out a knife and starts like gutting and skinning it right on the floor of the
Can I
raft.
help?
Yes, you start here at this at the nape under the neck here, and it's just like a big sluggy worm that's all slimy, and all the slime in here is secreted from these things, and you just
Ooh.
peel it down the middle, and it just sort of like what's that Japanese dish where you cut it right down the middle and it opens up?
Omurice.
Omurice?
That's the best.
But a
That's
worm.
the best
Amazing.
imagery ever. Oh my god.
Would you consider this at having caught and then vivisected this thing? Would you consider eliminating a heart's blood?
Is that an
creature?
ability you have that if you
It
do that you eliminate blood?
is,
Yes, you caught and vivisected this thing.
I love it. So
And you're studying it from a bee perspective. And actually, as you're doing this, you're looking at over and over, and Howie says to you, apropos of this, that nearby there used to be a research station that theorized that the worms here are some sort of opposite coin to the hive. Where if the hive is perfect order, then these are avatars of entropy and chaos. And so so that's helps your study of it as you're doing this. And he says, they used to try to do what the Bipurists do with the hive, but it did not end well. They were trying to form symbiosis with the worms, and it was gross.
Yeah, human centipede didn't go over well.
That project is on hold.
Oh,
How many more worms do you need?
Need?
Want?
Well, any good worms that we get, we could turn into leather or clothing.
Now that this area by Anais is occult in nature, Can I use Compel Occult to try and drag some of the bigger worms up for us to capture?
Tell me how you compel them to get closer.
Shubil pulls out his panda and will infuse it with a little bit of his heart's magic, and we'll just start strumming
Get a shanty going.
They call me Dr. Worm. Good morning.
Oh yeah. Good morning. How are you? I'm Dr. Worm.
I'm
I'm
Dr.
interested in worms, and you grab one. Yeah, you can do that for sure. You see a big one surface, and this one is like the size of it's like a good 4 feet long. So it's a chonker. Do you want to try and grab it and pull it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a roller. 10. Great.
We are so good at worming.
Call me Dio because I'm a holy diver.
It is a real worm. It's an actual worm. It lives like a worm, but now it's dead like a worm because you pull it up on and just following what you saw the others do. You do that as well. Does anyone else want to try and catch a worm?
Yes.
Okay.
Fishing sim.
So, wow, I forgot how good NSYNC was in 1998. Anyway,
It's in your head. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No. I turned it on YouTube. That's my fault. Anais actually wants to see if going into its true form would be a wonderful way to
An invitation?
some worms.
So you're looking for, is it if I'm in true form, is that an invitation or is it a deterrent? Right? And you're going to find out by rolling dice.
Its true form is, again, that big raven that swan dove a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's true. So
What are
like,
birds
that's
good
the
at?
thing, right? It's very hearts coded, so they might dig that. But also, if you're a worm and you see a giant bird, it could go one of two ways, right?
I will also say, when in your true form, you roll with mastery on hunt and kill checks.
This is the perfect time for it. Then. So you go to shift into your form. What roll are you making?
I think I'm gonna go with hunt occult.
That works because this is an occult area now, just from your presence.
Hunt, and then I will tick that mastery.
7. Wow, it's a good thing you had that mastery. Because otherwise it would have been a failure. So you turn into this form, and this worm jumps up onto the raft and sort of sets it like a little bit off balance. So everyone's trying to catch their footing.
Ooh.
And so what I think is I'm going to give you a D6 of stress. The stress die are going up here, Amber. So I'm going to give you a D6 of stress to your fortune, which is luck and luck-related things.
That's fine. She's
It's
taking
4
a fuck ton of
stress
stress.
to your fortune, and then roll me a fallout check to see if it gets worse.
8 and a 3.
An 8 and a 3. Hold on one second. I gotta change something on here. Turn off dark mode. I hate you. There we go. No fallout. Excellent. Couldn't see it with dark mode on. Yes, no fallout for you. It does like stress you out a little bit. You think, oh no, what did I do? We're all fucked. And then Howie sort of looks at you and he says, kind of extra. I mean, we're just catching worms. I mean, it's a good look, but it's a lot.
I'm sorry. This like soft voice comes
Don't
out.
apologize for being who you are.
Oh, I was gonna say, are we casting judgment on how people hunt for worms from other parts of the city beneath?
And
No,
don't
we have a
profile us.
saying. We have a saying here on the Wormsea, which is, don't burn someone else's worm. just means, don't judge other people.
Oh, like don't yuck someone's yum.
I haven't heard that.
Mm.
Does anyone else go worm fishing?
Wines. Well, go ahead. There it is.
No, I was just saying I don't know how to respond to that.
He was teasing you a little bit.
That's fantastic. I would like to. Wines at this entire time watching all the worms come up onto the boat. He has just been really concentrated on just the movement of the entirety of the sea. He's looking for what would be like if the worms are all moving in unison, biting and eating each other. He's looking for like the big, like pulsing through said worms.
You're looking for the big boy.
I'm looking for the big boy. Wines then kind of makes eye contact on where he wants to be, and he says, "It's the last one." And he grabs his shield off of his back, but as he grabs his shield off of his back, it slowly starts to transform, folds in on itself, comes on down, gains a handle.
What's this Voltron shield?
He lifts up the Voltron shield that is now a massive, great blade.
What?
He wants to use his ability, Dragon Killer.
Tell everyone what this ability is.
You have been entrusted with a great blade from the Order's vaults, an ancient weapon designed to slay the fiercest abominations within the Wormsian network. A great blade that has two profiles, one when used to kill human-sized targets, and one when used to kill targets significantly larger than yourself.
Okay, so you're looking for something that is human-sized or bigger.
Indeed.
Okay, all right. What kind of role does this require, would you say?
I would say probably technology wild.
Kill?
Or kill?
You could do kill technology or kill wild.
I think kill technology.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that. And wait a little bit for that. Okay. Let's see what we got here. 8 and 1.
An 8. That is a success with no stress. I do want to note that that great blade that you have does have the tag tiring on it.
It does. Yes. If for either one of human-sized targets or if that of larger than that.
So we'll resolve that in just a minute. It's a great tag for Wines to get on a piece of equipment. It doesn't come in effect this time. It only comes into effect if you fail on a roll. But you take up this sword and you stab in, and when you pull out, the worm that comes out is the size of a horse, and it is white. And you hear Howie say, "The great white worm." And you stab into it. Now, this is bigger than a human. So roll me a d10 here to see how much damage you do to this Moby Dick of a worm.
R 1d10, right?
1d10. Yeah, /R 1d10.
Yep. Thank you.
6. Okay, yeah. That's enough to deeply wound it, and you've got you've impaled it, you've skewered it. And so you go to pull it up, and other people help you pull it on board. And then when you get it up there, you realize that it is a worm, but it's a different species of worm than all the other ones are. You know what I mean? Whereas those are traditionally shaped worms, this one is a tapeworm or something like that. And that's why it's so big, is it's just down there consuming all the other worms. And it's just super long and stuff like that. And he's like, "This is enough leather to make a whole new tent.
I want a big hat."
I can make you a hat."
Oh.
Looking to make your head warm?
Yes.
Toby, what is Toby doing?
Toby is not going to fish for the worms. Toby is feeling like he's super close to his goal, yet so far away. So you see him kind of like sitting on the corner of a raft, staring off into the sunset. Like,
Of course. Yes.
like a little
Yeah.
like part of your world, Ariel, kind of just like staring off.
Meanwhile, there's these huge worms behind him being
like,
wrestled, and like
he's standing there like mournfully gazing at the. I mean, you see like this big white worm just behind him.
Have you seen the SNL sketch with Emma Stone for the Fisher Price Sensitive Boys toy
Yes.
collection with the well to just peer into retrospectively? That's what I'm seeing right now. That is Toby.
Toby's just looking into the wriggling worms, contemplating life and wondering.
As one does. Of course, perfect. So after you filled up on catches, Howie sort of like takes the rope and pulls you back towards shore, which is quite an effort. And he says it used to be much easier, but the mechanical capstans broke down a long time ago. This is the best we can do.
You're very strong.
That's my job.
Yes, thank you. I am. And humble. And
Hey, Jess, you could do something about those cap cans, correct?
Are you mechanically inclined?
We might need to get those healed first.
Would there be someone in the village who could look at her hands?
Up at the Wormery there is. I think they have a doctor there.
Well, yeah. If I get this figured out, then I'd
Floppy
be happy.
hands.
Yeah, my floppy hands. If I get the floppy hands figured out, then I could absolutely help with the mechanical one.
I think last week we said that your hands had like lost blood, like been drained.
Yeah, they're like fully.
But also maybe they're just boneless, so they're just
just flopping around.
Just Muppet hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me the frog hands.
Sure, you're already fuzzy.
True. Oh no, I'm a Muppet.
You're a Muppet.
You're a goddamn Muppet.
The next time you take Fallout, I'm gonna say that like you lose your ability to articulate with your lips, so your mouth just goes like this.
Oh my god.
It sounds to me we need to head to the Wormery.
Fantastic.
Oh no.
Once you're back on shore, Howie says, if you want to leave the worms with me, I could, make you armor if you want. It's not very good for protecting against most things, but it is good for protecting against the forces of the heart. Any sort of change.
That would be lovely.
What is inside of its belly? He's like, you just say it again. It's like, it just undoes
More
the sword.
worms.
Yeah, it's just like other little tinier worms come out, like Indiana Jones at the beginning of Temple of Doom. You know what I mean? Where they're eating the snake. And never mind. Ugh.
Howie.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking wild. It doesn't have many like organs or bones or anything like that. It's a worm. It's just sort of like, that's enough grossness with worms for today.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick question for you, sir.
Yes.
Has anyone ever fallen into the Wormsea?
Oh, yes. I do not recommend it.
Yeah, I assumed.
But you wanted to see something cool.
Sure.
He just like walks onto this to the raft, and then he steps off onto the worms.
Right, they're solid.
Well, they're solid until they move.
Are they going to try to
fall
eat
in,
you?
it's a bad time. If you fall underneath, yes. But we're close to shore.
Be careful.
You know, the worst thing that I could...
Tries to lift her floppy hands like, be careful.
Oh my.
I've been delving the heart for a couple of years now, and it still manages to amaze me. Mostly in the fact that there is a bottom there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I hear
We-
that down at the bottom, the heart's blood oozes up like a scab.
I don't know. Maybe it's just worms. Worms all the way down.
Yeah, well, some people think the heart is flat, so we don't burn anyone's worm around here.
Right.
Delving machine.
He says, apropos of nothing.
Worms at the bottom. There's the heart. Delving machine. Do we have to go into the
Kind of.
worms?
So I think that Howie is like cleaning these worms and stuff. So you can move out from here and go check out the wormery, or you can talk over like these papers that you found, other stuff, and talk theories, or do that on the way to the wormery.
That one.
Yes, underway.
If you look at
Underway.
the machine
On the way.
program, there is definitely a note there that says something worms? Question mark.
Do we
Oh,
have to
it
jump into the
does.
worms? And there's also like a few lines up. It says blue fingers? Question mark.
The shit.
Sounds weird.
So you
Um,
start making your way up toward the wormery. Yeah, Derek.
Yes, I just wanted to say that you said making it's like armor pieces and whatnot for one another.
Mhm.
I would like that big ass worm to be made into like the mouth of it is like a neck like collar.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I
so
want
it looks
like a
like
cape.
your head is coming out of a worm.
Correct.
It
I
looks
want
like you're
that,
being birthed by a worm.
exactly that.
Face
Birth me
first.
from that wriggly bitch. I'm so there for it. Let's go. Yes.
Incredible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Howie sort of like looks at that and says, "Yeah, of course, that's what I was going to do anyway.
You got
Champagne.
good taste, Howie.
Thank you. I like your hooves and your floppy Muppet hands."
Oh. Well, hopefully these won't be around for long. Because again, I want to help you with your mechanical thing. Maybe we could get that going so you're not having to work as hard.
That would be nice.
Okay.
We have train guts. You might be able to do that.
It's true.
Oh,
You could use those.
okay. Excellent.
So you can see the factory here from here, the wormery. It's kind of like up a hill and then out on like a long bridge onto a section of the Wormsea. It's like a pier almost, but you have to walk there, and as you do, you start to pass people along the way, and you realize that the Amyrran Zone, for being a wound in the heart where chaos reigns, there's people here. There's people who live here and survive here. They're all wearing worm leather, pretty much all the time.
So in season.
And most of the people that you pass are like traders who are pulling hand carts full of worm leather and worm meat to and from like the village and other places. But you do see people coming in from different directions. And you pass them along the way if you want to stop and talk to anyone. But in the meantime, what are you talking about as you go?
So one of the notes specified a possibility cavitation, which would mean that they had found some way to basically narrow down the randomness of the heart so that they could pass by it at free will. And he starts to ramble on his theories of what the delving machine actually is.
So good.
Well, we do know that this pardon my language, asshat, brightness sears the eye, was, I don't know, probably involved with all the shit with the what are
Train
their
people?
names? Yeah, with the Gwen Darcy. It sounds like he was very testy, talking about, deadlines and shit.
Yeah, you have those 3 letters from brightness sears the eye to the humans, the Ardasi Cabal. And with each letter, the tone shifts, where he's getting impatient and he's always condescending, but he gets worse. Yeah. There's also a letter that you picked up along the way that is addressed to Bay.
Mm-hmm. They did
And
mention something about either having to leave or making like another base in the zone.
yeah, for those of you who look at that message to Bay, the gist of it is the machine is lost. You think the delving machine is probably what they're referring to. That something went wrong. That the heart is wild, and the Amyrran Zone is our fault for sending this machine down there. And so it says, what are we going to do? Are we going to flee and go back to the eastern lands, or go into the Amyrran Zone and try to stop it? And it just poses that question.
Well, we won't necessarily know until we either find the response to said letter or a Gwynardasi camp somewhere deep inside the zone.
True.
You do know, I mean, obviously it sticks out Bay, right? The name Bay is the same name as Ptolemy Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But Ptolemy Bay, you know by reputation, is a human.
Yeah.
And this was 150 years ago. And humans in this have a similar lifespan to us as humans. Unless you're Toby.
But maybe it would have stayed in the family. How long's Ptolemy Bay been around? Like the company? Is it? It's fairly new, right?
That's a good question. It's within the past 50 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, theorizing, someone from the Bay family maybe was involved with the Gwynardasi. Makes sense. They're good at technology shit. Maybe they got into doing gun stuff.
If anyone wants to roll a knowledge, anyone who's lived in Spire, the city of Spire, could roll to see what they know about Ptolemy Bay and the corporation, or about him in particular. But like I said before, he's kind of like the Elon Musk of this world.
What'd you say we could roll with? Sorry.
Could roll with anything. Is probably a discern or something along those lines. Maybe hunt would apply, but it's basically you're trying to get information. What do I know about this, about Ptolemy Bay, the person? I know they're a human. Everyone knows that. But what have you heard? What rumors have you heard? That sort of stuff.
Actually, hunt. I would love to hunt any kind of occultish knowledge about this individual.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that for sure.
Well, ass and balls.
Well, you do take a little bit of stress. You take, it's not much. We'll give you like 1d4 stress to mind. Just 2 mind stress.
I have a thing where you roll a 6, which is sacred to deep apiarists, and it becomes a success.
Yes, anytime you roll a 6, go ahead and look that ability up.
I don't think it's for people that are around me.
I think it's just for
me.
you.
Damn
but
it.
I'd like to hear what it is.
Yeah.
So what Anais remembers in terms of like a cult type of stuff is that you remember hearing that the reason Bay has been so powerful in weapons dealing and being an arms manufacturer is that he uses the power of the heart to power his weapons. So he found some way to bottle chaos and to make guns that shoot with the wrath of nameless gods. That's the rumor.
Awful.
Would explain why you saw his corporation down here in the heart.
And Anais would share that information out with the rest of the party, naturally. Just to be like, don't you remember this happening? Like,
Right.
I've never been to Spire, so.
Shame. I can imagine why.
Have you looked at me?
No.
She
I
smacks.
typically have
She smacks his
Good,
mask
good.
with her other hand.
Yeah. I
At that-
typically have avoided Spire because I didn't want to run into any elf here.
Oh, get wrecked.
All right there, sad boy. Let's make this clear. We didn't want to run into you either.
As you're having this little like back and forth, Toby, you turn to say this to Wines, and you see off in the distance that you're being followed. And at first you think Trash Monculus, obviously. But then you realize it's too small to be one of the Trash Monculus. It is like closer to the ground with short legs and big
One of
tall
my-
ears.
Or not one of my orphans.
Not an orphan, no.
I point at it.
And it's heading in your direction. And as it turns, you realize that it kind of has the shape of a pig. But
Wine.
it has like ears that look like a rabbit's ears.
Your swine is back, Wine.
Wine's demeanor changes completely. Like what was all like full of gusto, walking with that wonderful new ring worm cowl. Here we go.
Hey, you don't have that wet leather yet. He's got to cure it. He's got to sew it. Come on.
Shit.
man.
That's savage.
But yes, here comes Swines to the Wind, your messenger, who, for those of you who don't remember, is a pig with a human face, but now he has tall rabbit-like ears coming out of the top. That's new.
Oh.
And he sort of comes up and he's like, I know about the ears. You don't have to tell me.
I'm assuming that's recent.
I guess. I mean, just woke up like this. When did you get your hooves?
Same. About 6 months ago.
Mine was a little.
More importantly, how the hell did you get down here?
I don't even know, man. I actually, I went up to Spire, and then he like sort of like stops and looks around at the group, and he's like, "You wanna have an aside with me?"
I'm sorry, that just got me so much. How'd you even get here? I don't know, man.
You want to have a sidebar?
You know, sidebar.
Sidebar.
And then and Wines and Swines go off to the side of the group. He goes, so I went up to Spire to talk to your family, and I mean, they were like, okay, you know, whatever, fine, and they want you to like be best friends with like that guy Celadon. But then we heard that Celadon is dead now. Apparently, something happened. He's missing, or nobody knows what happened to him. So then I go find you. And I go to this place, Coin Pit, and I met a doctor there, this elf-eared doctor, who was like waiting for me, and he said that you'd gone down the pit. So I went back up to Spire to tell them you jumped down a pit, but I took a wrong turn and I got lost, and here I am. How do I get out of here?
You don't. You don't. Listen.
I got a girlfriend, man. I got to get back to the...
You go get back to your bunny, pig, rabbit, kangaroo later. That is not your...
You just said a
That is
bunch of
not-
animals, and I'm only 2 of them.
But if you keep on going the rate to which you are, you're going to end up in that fucking worm as well. Now listen. He picks up the pig. Finds. You have not made it back to tell my family about not having insurance, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. What did the doctor tell you?
Said that you had buboes.
Okay.
He was really open about a lot of your medical history.
Okay. All right. Did he tell you about the hemorrhoids?
No, but now I know.
Shit. Okay. Listen. Okay.
Well, not without some difficulty and discomfort.
No, obviously that's for me to deal with. All right, and for you, all right. shaking the pig. I can imagine the rest of the group is just seeing like.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was just like, they're off over there. We just hear like pick up a pig.
Shibil watches Wines pick up Swines and shake them and just tilts his head to the side. I'm sure there's a euphemism in there somewhere.
While shaking your pig in public.
You know Men in Black, where like he picks up the pug and he's like, so that's what we get from them.
Oh yeah,
That's
for the
exactly
information. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't. What do you want me to tell them? What you do you not want me to tell? If I can get out of here.
Listen, I have the man who has the chip. I am telling him, okay?
You have him?
I don't have it. No, I don't have it. Okay, I'm going to.
Is it the guy with the hat? And he looks at Bill.
No, it's not. It's not the drunk mage. It's not him. No,
Oh.
it is a man, beast, double the size of that. All right, imagine.
Sorry, I have the hiccups.
the Muppet nose. All right, that imagine that one, but 17 times the size. He has the chip.
Oh, do you know where he is?
No, I don't. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to figure out where this person is, but I'm on a tail away to be able to get back to what once was to get it. But that man over there is a direct line. We're so close to a delving machine.
What's a delving machine?
A machine that digs deep into.
You don't know.
It delves deep into an area that may get us to where we need to. It's extraplanar. It goes to different places. You know how the heart is. It's fucking weird. Look at you.
I can't. I broke all the mirrors in my house.
Life is sad for you, isn't it?
I mean, it could be better. Could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, it sucks. This all sucks. Okay, listen.
I don't know. I mean, I got a girlfriend. Cindy's pretty great.
Cindy?
My girlfriend up in Spire.
And she loves
You don't know
like
her.
this?
What?
She loves
Yeah.
you like this and this.
I haven't seen her since I became a pig guy. But yeah.
Okay, I digress. That has nothing to do. Shut up about Cindy. Listen to me, okay? You're going to tell them that we are finding a delving machine and that we ourselves are getting closer to the Eastern Transit Line.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll tell them that once I get back to Spire. He like looks around.
He puts Swines down
and says, you can follow us to the next place. There might be a way for you to get back. But as soon as you get back, do not answer any of these people's questions. They ask you anything, you tell them all about Cindy. That's the only thing you say. Just Cindy this, Cindy that, nothing. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Wines walks back to the group.
All right.
You can
So, how do you think it went?
Cindy.
Who?
Great.
My girlfriend Cindy.
Oh, is she here? I'd love to meet her.
She works at a hat shop up in Spire.
Oh, that's
Oh.
nice.
Her favorite ice cream flavor is banana.
Bill to Toby. I think we're missing some very vital information here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great haberdashery up there. Real nice.
Yes, Cindy's haberdashery.
Sells boots too on the side. Cobbler, dabbles, jack of all trades, master of none, because
Well,
she sucks.
if I ever work out the fines and bounties, I'll be sure to stop in.
You reach the wormery. And at the front of it is basically It's a large set of iron gates, and there is a small. It's got a small like speakeasy slot where like you know what I mean, where they like it's slided aside and you can talk to the person on the other side. But what you notice is the whole thing is encased in this worm leather airlock, basically. So it's like its own room, right? And the person with the little hole is like off to the side. So they open it up and they say, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Do y'all have a doctor in there?
Um, Probably. Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Jazzy.
When you in town?
Yeah.
I actually have something for this, maybe. It's an ability called Pristine. You are always clean and well presented, even when you've been trudging through filth or battling not just kin in
Or
close
worm
quarters
slime?
or worm
Oh my
slime.
god.
So
Does
when
this
you
apply to you?
it does. So
Okay.
when you arrive in a landmark, you may roll with mastery when trying to make a first impression.
That absolutely applies here. And he sort of says, "How do you look so fantastic?"
Oh, stop it! I'm sorry.
No, I'm
trying to.
serious. Like usually people show up here and they're covered in slime or dirt or something.
I tried to always like put my best foot, my best hoof forward, and
Right,
I
right,
actually, if
right.
you'd like, I kind of sideline in hairstyling. So if you want, if anyone's looking for a
Oh,
haircut, I'm happy to oblige.
I mean,
If
maybe.
I'm gonna need to see a doctor first though, because yeah.
Sure, yeah. I think we've got somebody who can maybe look at that over at the base inside. But you've never been here before, right?
No,
None of
we're
you?
all brand new.
Looks around, clocks the pig, looks at everyone and says, all right, well, in order to enter the wormery, you need to go through our decontamination process, which is very beneficial. It won't kill your hands
Oh.
or anything, but it does it costs just a little something like something small, per person or whatever.
Might be a trinket of some kind.
Yeah, no, a trinket might work. So basically, he's looking for like a D4 resource
Ooh,
in order to like
I got it.
gain entry and go through unless you want to try to like persuade him not to do this with your
Can
ability.
I?
You can try. Yeah.
I would love to try.
Okay.
May I use compel?
Should be Haven or technology might apply here
Okay, yeah.
because it's like a technological entry point with
yeah.
a decon. Yeah.
Could I do compel technology?
Sure. If you mention like the airlock, sure
Yeah.
that counts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really do. Well, it's lovely to meet you, and flattery will get you everywhere.
Oh,
But
yeah.
for first timers,
You
first
free
ones,
later?
huh?
You free
I mean,
later?
I mean, maybe.
There's a good bar out here called the Last Gasp Tavern. If you want to get a drink or something, yeah.
Sure, I'd be open
Okay.
to it. You get a little bit of a blush there, and her little pretty face with her floppy arms.
All right. So roll me that roll here, and we'll see if you can like talk your way in.
Love it.
And I assume you're talking for everyone here, not just yourself.
Yes, exactly. So
You are a
compel-
better person than I, Sid.
That's just all the fuck no.
Uh-oh. Sid
Yes,
sounds
you're a little bit
sounding...
crackly backly.
Elevator.
No.
Crackle when you move it. But that's a good roll. So you figure that out, and that's a success with no stress. And the person on the other side of the door here says, "Okay, all right, yeah, no, that's fine. We could. I mean, the decon, it's mostly I don't know, aspirational. more than anything else. We're not sure how much good it does, but yeah, we can let you in. Welcome to the Wormery. Before I let you in, I got to go over the rules, okay? No guns, no knives. You know, this whole place is protected by worm leather, and the smallest gap could throw this whole place into deadly chaos. The other thing is if you're going to go back to the place where we produce all of the chemicals for decon, some of the stuff there is very explosive, so no open flames in that area. You got to be cautious there. We are mostly trying to keep hard stuff out, so no witches. And on top of all that, I think that's most of it. Let me just check my list. He looks over this little list here, looks it up and down. He says, yeah. I mean, that's mostly it. So if you need any directions when you're inside, we can do that. All right. And he goes to like open up the door.
Did you say no witches?
But comes back to the window. Yes, witches are like, connected to the heart. We're trying to keep the heart chaos energy out of here. So
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, do you have any witches? And he like looks at you and he like gives you a look as if to say, tell me what I want to hear.
No.
All right, good to hear. All right, I'll get the door open. He walks over.
Yeah, Anais like pulls like a bird feather like out of its hair and just like tucks it away. Definitely not.
He says very obviously, he says, oh, it's good you don't have any witches. That would be bad and against the rules that we all follow. And you hear this psst, as like that front door opens and you step all into the airlock. I also imagine that he's giving the pig like a little bit like, am I supposed to let this pig in here? Like, this is clearly something that's been heart touched and it's a little weird, but okay. You step inside the airlock and you see that like all over the wall are these nozzles and like who knows what they spray on people when they come through, but then the outside door closes and you hear him on the other side of the inside door say, starting decontamination. Just kidding, not real. He says, click out loud. All done. And he opens the inside door. Oh, good. All the chemicals and purifying oils got all that taint off of you. Yeah, really good. Sid, I think you're muted, my friend. Is it possible? Or not. Maybe not. I'm imagining things. Say something. No,
Nope.
We can't hear you. So he lets you all in there. And once you're inside, he says, keep in mind most of the people inside are a little bit cautious about newcomers because they never leave. We're all a little bit worried that you go outside and you're going to get some heart fallout, and you'll end up with a pig with a human face, like this guy over here, right? And Swines sort of looks up at him.
Is there anyone in there who might know where Mourner's Close is?
Oh, I know where Mourner's Close is.
You do?
Yeah, it's not far from here. I could point you in the direction when you're ready to leave if you want.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's relatively close. Most people are looking, oh, how do I get to the heart? And I'm like, I don't know. We're all stuck in the Amyrran Zone, but Mourner's Close is nearby.
Would there happen to be any shrines here?
Here? No. I think they've got one at Mourner's Close. There's some guy named Tobias or something like that. And then there's another place. I think there's another shrine in the Red Litten Caves if you want to go cave diving. That's also relatively close if you look. But no, mostly not religious people in here. We've all given up. We've all given up on life for the most part because we're stuck in a hellish alternate.
You are preaching to the silent choir.
All right, my man. And as he does that, you hear on the door behind you, you hear another knock. He's like, oh, I got to get that. More people coming in. So, anyways, head down this tunnel here. And as you look out in front of you, it does give the impression of being inside of a blanket fort if this blanket fort was made out of worm leather.
Ah,
The smell is either from the cured worm skin or from the sheer number of people because it's crowded. And it does give the vibe of like an outpost where like we live in a series of tunnels, you know, or hallways. And there's like people every 5 feet leaning against walls, setting up camping spots. You know, like it is just, yeah. It's a refugee camp.
Can you all hear me yet?
Yes, we
yeah.
can, yay.
Thank God. Okay. The
Get it.
Video Ninja did something really weird and showed me an error message that I've never seen, and like apparently switched all of my outputs for no reason.
You
So
jerk, Video Ninja.
It was
But
weird.
thanks for the technology.
Yeah.
He says, okay, so you go down this way here, and then you'll get to the base. That's like the center of the Wormery. It's kind of the market square, but also like the big sleeping pile where everybody sleeps. Past that, you're gonna get to Carter's Row.
I'm sorry. Everyone sleeps in a big pile, like on
No,
top of
I
each other,
mean
like
that, I
puddle
mean that
puddle.
figuratively, unless you're into that.
I mean, I'm not a. Anyway, sorry. missed the
Okay, all
point.
right, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
But past that, you're gonna get to Carter's Row. That's where the tavern is. Last gasp. Torsten's general store is down there. The doctor's office is down there, down Carter's Row. And past that is the fume cave, where they make all the toxic chemicals that we spray on people.
Mm.
So anyway,
Why do you spray toxic chemicals on everyone?
oh, to decontaminate them from the heart energy and stuff, and
Is
to
that what
wash
you
all
just
the
did
heart
to us
off.
just now?
We were gonna, but I didn't. Remember, I said, and I didn't.
Oh, yes. That
Right,
you
right.
did for us just now. Got it.
Wink.
Right. I gotta get the door. So and then you see him go over to the door and open it up, and you hear him talking to somebody on the other side. Yes.
Sorry, I just had the thought of sticking around for a few minutes to hear the decontamination process going off, and we just hear screams.
You could, if you want.
We got to get to a doctor.
I love it. So you start moving down. You hear their conversation fading. It's like, all right, welcome to the Wormery. Blah, blah. There's like, no, I've never been here before. And he's talking back and forth. Blah, blah, blah. And you go down this tunnel, and people are. It's like you're like rubbing elbows, like literally with people. Like it's so tight. It's like being at the Mall of America on the day after Thanksgiving. It's just, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And you're breathing in other people's fumes, and you start to think all of these people are people who were adventuring in the heart and ended up stranded in the Amyrran Zone. And now they don't leave. Eventually it opens it up to this big main cavern, which they call the base. It's just a bunch of like tents down a level. You see a few like shops set up, and then past that you see a hallway branching off, or like a tunnel branching off, and it has a sort of makeshift Fallout sign, post-apocalyptic sign that says Carter's Row on it. You see plenty of people coming and going, and I think that at that point, now that we're here, I think we might need to take a break. I think that would be a good time because I got to use the bathroom. So we're going to run off, and then we'll get back to this Star Wars Wild West Saloon vibes encampment.
Is there jizz music?
There is jizz music, yes. Which is the worst thing that Star Wars ever did, even worse than Jar Jar Binks is calling it jizz music. Yes, RJ, would you like to share something about that?
I just realized how to make this entire situation worse, and it's to have Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You playing constantly in the worm tunnels.
I hate
my
everything.
God,
Well,
It's a liminal space.
I hate you.
all
my
I'll say about that
God.
is that proves there's always a way to make something worse.
She's
So
defrosting even as we speak.
we're
I
gonna take a
don't
break.
wanna
Don't go
love-
anywhere. We'll be back for a little Heaven, our actual play of Heart, the City Beneath by Rowan Rook and Descartes. We are back from break, and everyone seems to be in their right windows, which is great. We had some technological fun over the break, and all problems resolved.
Knocking on
So-
wood, biting tongues. Okay.
Nope, nothing could possibly go wrong.
Doc, stop.
So-
Doc, roll fortune fallout.
Oh, I have to roll fortune fallout for me. That's a D20 of fortune fallout for me. Oh, I take one.
Shit.
Wow.
What the shit, man?
It's good to be me. Yes, but speaking of good fortune, you have found the Wormery, this settlement of Amyrran Zone refugees here in this wound of the heart, like a piece of shrapnel stuck in this never-healing wound. And you apparently can find medical care inside, as well as information if you should so wish. And right now, you are standing above this big old area called the base, and you're all looking around. I assume that you're going right over to the medical department, but is there anything else you want to do on the way?
You all don't have to come with me. I can just slip in there real quick and see if someone can help with this.
I was thinking about hitting up the local tavern and seeing if I could seek some employment while we're here.
That's not a bad idea. Do you want to take them letters too and see if any of those names ring a bell for anybody?
Sure, I could schmooze with the locals.
Oh, also, sorry, you might have to reach into my bag. Can you take one of my sketches of the googly-eyed man with the wings and shit and see if anyone's seen him before?
Do you want predatory pose or stalking in the night?
Stalking into the night. I actually like the predatory pose one. I'm gonna keep that.
This begs the question. I can't wait to find out what other poses are there of that Nugface man.
The thinker.
So the trinket description is fantastic. It is literally, I've given out one and now I've given out another. So now I have 18 sketches of a man you're convinced you're going to meet down here, all made by different artists. So they're all different poses.
Oh,
That's the trinket. It's great.
neat.
I can't wait to see what other
Fantastic.
names you come up with.
You've just had these commissioned of this guy that you have dreams about.
Exactly. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I've got to get it. So yep, I've got now 18 of them. As
I love this so
Bill
much.
has
Okay,
one.
great. So you head down and get to business. Let's go with Jezzy first. Is Jezzy going on their own?
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to trouble anybody. She'll just go, pop in there and get this taken care of.
Right. So you head down a Carter's Row, and you find it's almost like it's wedged between two buildings. Like used to be an alleyway, now is a building ? And above it, it doesn't have room to say doctor. It just says DR. Period.
Okay.
And there's a young drow gentleman standing behind a counter, and he says, "Hello.
Hi.
Which one was your hands?"
That's kind of what I was hoping someone could look at. They
I can
kind
see
of
it
got.
from here. I'm looking at it right now.
I know. Yeah, they're all like white and bloodless and boneless. I got attacked
Yeah.
by a weird like heart leech in a swampy area, and they've just kind of been like this ever since. Is there someone might be able to take a look at this?
I can look at it.
Are you doctor?
Sure.
Are you really a doctor?
I mean, you'll know unless I try to heal your hands, right?
All right, I'm gonna make you a bet. If you heal my hands, I'll give you a present.
Oh, all right. Is it present with a substantial amount? Because I need to get paid for my doctor-like abilities.
All right. How about this? If you want to reach in my pack here, because I can't use my hands.
Oh,
like this.
all right. He just leans over the counter.
He pulls out
Felix.
the. Hi, Felix. I'm Jazzy. I feel
Hello.
we're getting to know each other, aren't we? You want to grab that umbrella?
Oh, I haven't seen an umbrella in ages.
I know, right? It's crazy. It
All
works
right.
too. I wouldn't open it inside. I hear that's bad luck.
Oh no, I wouldn't be able to open it in here anyway. Your walls are
Yeah.
too close.
Yeah, it's close quarters.
Yeah,
I can give you
yeah.
that if you can hear my hands.
All right. Put them here on the counter.
All right.
And he like reaches below and takes out this big red syringe. It's full of a red liquid.
What's
So just-
that?
It's blood for your hands.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes sense. I don't
Yeah.
got blood. What about the bones, though? There's no bones either.
Oh, this will probably help with that.
All right. It's your umbrella.
Whack! Just fails it, and it works. you clear that fallout.
You're a miracle worker.
Yeah, I know. That's what they told me back in medical school when I got my doctorate degree.
See, I asked you if you were a real doctor, and you were just like all vague about it. You went to medical school. You're
Oh,
a
sorry, I'm
doctor.
trying to do this whole mysterious thing. People used to call me Obvious Felix, but now I'm hoping to change my nickname.
Well, I'll call you Mysterious Felix if you want.
Thank you. That's great.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Oh, do you want a brochure? And he like takes out this pile of brochures and hands it to you. One to you, and at first you're thinking this must be like a doctoring brochure, but it says recruiting followers for the mourners of Tobias Molo. Bunch of fucking religious weirdos came through here and was handing them out last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
Recently. Are they
Huh?
nearby? Are they at that,
I hope not. They're very loud. They're tambourines.
they like tambourines?
They had a bunch of them. They was all shaking them about, singing about somebody named Toby. I don't know what that means.
Thank you for your assistance in this information.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, you can have the whole stack if you want. I was just going to use them to wipe my ass.
Say paper that way. Hey, this is a long shot.
Yeah.
This is Larry.
Okay.
Larry looks around. Larry used to be a human.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You heard of anything that might be able to help with that?
I don't got a syringe for that.
You never know if you don't ask, you know?
That's right. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Have a nice day. I'm closed. And he pulls down a shutter. That's Felix. That's Mysterious Felix. The
Mysterious
doctor.
Felix. The doctor. I have my hands again. I get mend back.
Hallelujah.
Yay!
And a flyer.
And a flyer.
Um,
And I need to go talk to Toby. I'm going to look for Toby.
Okay, you go back and you find the others. Where are the others, including Toby?
I think Toby would go to the tavern with Bill because Toby wants to talk to some locals about Warner's clothes.
Anyone else going to the tavern? No.
What else is around there?
So there's a general store called, I think, Torsten's General Store. There are a lot of similar stores. Like, you ever go to a mall and it's mostly like, okay, these stores all sell the same thing, you know? It's like that, but worm leather, right? But to be unique, there is a general store that'll sell other equipment, you know, just general goods and things like that. There is the bar. There is Mysterious Felix, the doctor, and that's about it.
I guess, what is the best way to figure out what the like sentiment about witches and like those with like following the heart song? Is that
Yeah,
going to
interesting.
the
Interesting.
tavern or?
You would probably, so you're looking for some sort of measure of the local opinion, right? There is a person on the corner selling like a little bit of a broadsheet newspaper, and it appears to be a young boy, and he is different from most other people. He is wrapped up like a Star Wars sand person in worm leather, so you can't like see his face or anything else. And he's yelling it, and he's like, he sees you walk past, and he's like, oh, can of worms, get your can of worms here, your daily publication. Oh, witches banned. And like when he sees you, it's almost like he sees you, and then he adds that headline. But we were with Toby, so we got to pause that. So we got to go back because I will tangent off. But that happens simultaneously as you split off from the others. So we follow Toby and Bill into the bar. And this is a bar that's called The Last Gasp. It is small in terms of floor space. It's kind of like one of those bars where you walk in and there's the bar and there's a line of people leaning on the bar and that's about it. You know? But there's quite a few people around, including one person in the middle of everyone else being very loud. And it say things like, and that's when we heard the music of the carnival, and we knew that the carnival was coming, and so as you can imagine, we were all terrified. So I had to think quick, and I said, what would Excalibur Carter do in a time like this? Because that's me. And what I did was, we turned around, we ran as fast as we could in the opposite direction, and he's just like going on, and all these people are like hanging on every word of this person. There is a bartender, a drow bartender behind the bar who's walking up and down and filling drinks. And yeah, and there's just a random assortment of other folks around.
Bill is gonna flag down the bartender to see if he can sing for his drink today.
What? Yeah. Set.
Well, would it be possible if for me to play a few songs to get a drink?
Oh, you shouldn't be asking me. I'm just the bartender. You should ask Mr. Carter down there. I mean, he doesn't strictly run the place, but he doesn't. And I don't know. You probably want to ask him if you can take the attention away from him. He likes it quite a great deal.
Idea. Could I provide an ambient soundtrack to Excalibur Carter's tales and adventures as he's speaking to the
Absolutely
crowd?
make an attempt to do that. You could find a place to like sort of the best acoustics in the room, right, which is this corner, and like you kind of like wedge in there. And do you want to start playing and see how it goes?
Yeah, I'll do
Let's get rolls. Be like compel or you tell me.
well, I guess yeah, I'll do a compel occult because even Schubel's music has a little bit of magic to it.
And while you're doing that, what's Toby doing?
Toby would go up to the bartender and be like, "Hi, I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Mourner's Close is it's close to here,
Oh,
right?"
Jesus. Have you seen these? And they take out this stack of pamphlets and slap them on the counter. And it's the same one that you have, but
Yeah.
these are like brand new, recently printed. And he says, they came through last week. Can you believe this bullshit? What is this? The dead boy, the ghost boy or some shit like that. And said that he died, and then he came back, and then he died again, and we're supposed to all die because he died. It's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Oh my god.
Do you want a drink?
I can trade you this dull pocket knife for a drink.
So meanwhile, you do that. And they serve up something that is alcoholic. Because the smell. And Bill lays down the sickest licks you've ever heard. Because he rolled a 10. And just as he does that, Excalibur Carter sort of like turns and like pauses for just a brief moment and then launches back into this story about this adventure he was on. And you're sitting there drinking, and eventually this guy, Excalibur Carter, starts steering the conversation, and then right in the middle, like in between licks, and just he drops the words delving machine into this story. And it's like the only thing you hear. You sort of perk up in here. But let's go back out because Anais found a newspaper sold by this little boy. I'm sorry, we're jumping all over.
Yeah. Grace.
Yeah, look at this, get Whiplash. And he says, "Oh, hello, miss. Hello, miss. Would you like a newspaper? Can of worms? It's only one shilling."
I don't have a shilling, but I have a. Anais looks around, regards the headline of witches banned, and realizes everything
Right.
on their person.
Well, you look on there and it has no mention of witches at all on there. And then he
Oh.
looks up and he says, "Oh, no, it's changed. You're not a witch, are you?" And then he reaches up and he pulls down like a little bit of the worm wrapping. And you see that underneath his skin has these pulsing black veins that he's filled with heart's blood, and he winks at you like that.
Oh.
Smell you a mile away. You gotta be careful.
Oh. Sorry.
Now's the time where you tell me your name.
Is it even safe to exchange
Yeah,
that
it's fine.
information?
My name's Wilt.
Hi, Wilt. I'm Anais. It's nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you. Another one. You know, we don't get a lot of witches here, not just because they ain't allowed, but because, well, I don't know. It's kind of a shitty place to live.
There's merit for everything, and there's a reason for every kind of place to look the way that it does.
We don't burn somebody else's worm.
You don't burn somebody else's worm, exactly. But thank you for the heads up that witches are banned. I'll have to find a way to conceal this. What's going on? Is this new?
Oh, it's just not a big deal. Everyone here's a little bit paranoid. There's a lot of people who've been here for a long time, and we know that, witches are just witches, but lots of new people, when they come through, they're afraid of the heart and what it does, and I don't know. So they sort of made a rule, like a public rule, that no witches around, but nobody follows it.
If nobody follows it, then why are you still concealing your veins under?
Oh, just to be kind of like sassy and mocking, in a way, And this way, if I wrap myself up like this, when I get pissed off, I just show them my veins.
Oh, okay. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
I understand.
What are you doing down here?
Well, a number of things. Completing a cult ritual, or sorry, should I be speaking in riddles? I don't know.
No, you can be playing. It's all right. Most people don't pay attention to what they talk about down here.
That's valid. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're just. Do you know anything about why is Amber forgetting what this is called?
Which one? The Amyrran Zone, the Delving
The
Machine?
Bay. Ptolemy Bay.
Bay.
Do you know anything about Ptolemy Bay and
Ptolemy Bay, god of the gun, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't really give in to guns, don't need to. I've been alive for like 100 years, and I've never needed one. Says this little boy.
Oh, I thought you said I never dated a gun, and I was about to say, well, I hope you've
Ain't
never
no
dated
dating a gun either. I mean, can you imagine? They're probably lousy in the sack.
Oh, yeah, naturally. I mean, shooting blanks. Am I right?
I like you. No, I don't know no Ptolemy Bay. However, as you're having this conversation, there is a slight kerfuffle towards the entrance where you all came in, and you see a group enter. And among that group, they're dragging almost like a modified wheelbarrow behind them, but at the lead of them is a beggar thunder chaser. And you realize that this is a whole weapons caravan from the Ptolemy Bay Corporation that have just arrived here.
So you don't know anything about that company?
You've never seen those people before? must have just got here.
Huh.
Hey,
Well,
do you have any desire to someday ascend to become the Red Queen? Because if you do, I'm gonna fucking stab you in the throat.
no. I've never
I'm
had
gonna
that
be the
desire.
Red Queen.
You know what? I wish you the best of luck with that, and I hope
All right.
you.
And then, like, he
Okay,
turns away
bye.
from you and holds up his newspaper and he says, Tonley Bay Corporation arrives in the Wormery. Big news, get your newspaper here. And he starts waving it around.
Okay. I take the newspaper and just go back to where the fuck we came from.
This 100-year-old
Say-
kid is nuts.
Yeah.
I think he has earbuds in and is getting the same radio station as Bill.
Yep. Speaking of, Bill and Toby, you just heard Excalibur Carter mention the delving machine. And he ends his story. People start to filter out when they hear that there's like a weapons caravan here. They hear, oh, somebody's brought in weapons, and so they all filtering out. And Excalibur Carter is like, wait, I'm not done with my story yet. I'm not finished.
What's that part about a delving machine?
What about a delving machine? What do you know about it?
You brought it up. You mentioned it.
I did it. Yeah, well, maybe I did. Let me think.
You did. You were telling a
Oh,
wonderful
did
story.
you? Yeah, I've heard rumors of it. And so, what I've heard is that from several groups that they're looking to destroy it so we can free the people of the Amyrran Zone. You know, destroying it will end the captivity. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll lead another great expedition. You can be my assistants.
Oh, that would be an honor.
Yes, it would.
I'm sorry. Have you seen said delving machine, or just heard of said delving machine?
No, son. What you need to learn is when you're me, you don't need to see things to know exactly what they are.
Right.
I have founded this place.
The Amyrran Zone?
Now the Wormery.
Ah,
And
Tell me-
someday I'll leave.
what can you tell me about Mourner's Close and Tobias Moldo?
Mourner's Close. Oh, yeah. No, it's not far. A relatively recently new, future, long-established community in the area. A group of religious people, I think. I know, centered around some child celebrity, I think, or something like that. They might have some pamphlets. Let me get you a pamphlet. He starts looking around for the pamphlets.
I got plenty of pamphlets. Thank you.
If you want religion, you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
This is about the time that Jezzy runs in to find Toby. Toby, I found a pamphlet.
Oh, she found them. Good job, Elizabeth.
Close enough.
Yeah, I've been meaning to tell you all about the pamphlet. I just couldn't think of a good time to bring it up.
Oh,
Now's the perfect time.
yes, I agree.
Says famous adventurer Excalibur Carter.
By the by, Sir Carter.
Oh, yes, that was some lovely music.
Well,
I enjoyed it very much.
thank you very much. I enjoy providing backup to such grand adventures. If you know things,
I do. I know everything, my boy.
I'll pull out the picture of the gangly insectoid man.
Oh, God, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
I've never seen that before. If you excuse me, I'm going to lose consciousness. And he slumps to the floor.
Yep, but don't hit your head.
Okay.
There is like one other person still lingering in the bar, an Aelfir, sort of lithe, has kind of like, he's not wearing worm leather. He has kind of like normal clothing on. And he says, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt your conversation with that. And he points at Excalibur Carter. He goes, Did you ask him about something called a delving machine?
Yes.
Who's asking?
He sort of holds his hands up defensively. He's like, "Oh, forgive me. So I'm Rami. It's nice to meet you." And he reaches out to shake everyone's hands. I'm a
Enjoys the
recent
handshake
arrival.
thoroughly because she can
Yes,
do it
oh.
now.
Yeah. Oh, what strong hands! They're very effective.
Thanks, they're new.
You wouldn't happen to be on an expedition to find this delving machine, would you?
I believe it's like a secondary objective for me, at least.
I see. And are you doing this on behalf of a group or
So Bill walks over to the counter, reaches behind it. He'll leave like one of his trinkets as payment, grabs a bottle, and he'll pour like a glass for himself, a glass for
the
running.
guy, the draw behind the counter slides your payment back and says, "No, the music was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
You go, pay for your supper and all that."
And he'll pour drinks for everyone. So I have a condition called time assassins.
Oh, time assassins! I heard that's very serious.
Yes, and so far our journey has taken us here to the zone and towards the delving machine. And so I figured that if we find the source of the delving machine, then we'll figure out why the time assassins are after me. Glug.
Oh, wow! Well, that's fabulous. I was hoping to. Well, I'm one of many. I think that you're not the only ones looking for this, but I was hoping to locate it myself to fix some personal issues. You wouldn't.
Fix some personal issues?
Yeah, like I'm trying to be vague. I mean, I have some things in my life that could be set to right by either taking control of said machine or shutting it down entirely.
So there's a giant machine oppressing people, and you want to find it in order to time travel back and fix your life?
My God, is he always like this?
Yeah.
No, just to Elfier.
Oh, I see. It's a thing about my my heritage. Got it.
Where is Wines, by the way?
Where is Wine?
Yes, where is Wines while this is happening? Because we haven't
There's
seen
been
him.
a lot. There's been a lot of other stuff going on at the moment, so we'll get to him in a minute. What he's doing is
He's just
that,
shopping for souvenirs.
He's telling little Pig Boy, just a segue as he told Pig Boy, I want you to go look and just go to every place that's rolling dice, dealing cards, whatever the hell it is. Ask
You
about
want me to
the-
find just like gambling parlors? Or
I want you to go ahead and find as many as you can. All right, but I want you to.
okay, but I mean, if I go to like a casino or a card room or something like that, I'm gonna need some money. To
You're
get
not
in.
gambling.
But I gotta blend in, man. I stick out like a sore pig.
He reaches in his pocket and gives him like a little bit of gold and whatnot, and just.
What am I
smacks him
supposed to
on
do
his
with
big
this?
ass.
I don't
Get your
even wear
hand
clothes
outta here.
anymore. I'm just hanging out.
Get out of here.
All
Go
right, here, just hold
go
on.
find-
Put it in my fanny pack.
Opens up his fanny pack
He's
for him.
wearing a fanny pack now.
Oh yeah. Stuffs it full of
Okay.
gold.
I
Get out
will
of here.
track down a lead 100%. If I need more money, where should I find you?
I'll be around.
So
Just
will I. Some pig
You're a ham.
That's offensive.
Shut up.
He leaves.
I imagine that after he leaves, Wines is going to look around to see as he's going to find gambling dens. I'm guessing it's like more smaller, shadier areas. Wines is going to look for something a little more bigger, like maybe more robust. If it's a place that like would have gambling around, I bet that'd be the
Sure.
inn or some shady cafe
Yeah.
or somewhere else.
Yeah. There isn't an inn here. Everyone sleeps out in the main cave. It's
Fantastic.
weird. You do find, we're talking like You don't find any gambling parlors. You find people like shooting craps on the street. Is like the biggest ticket you can find.
Then we look for the biggest craps game that is happening.
Okay. Yeah, you go around and start looking for that. But let's jump back. Who wants to go now? I've been jumping back and forth between everyone all the time. So Amber, Anais hears that, and sees that the Ptolemy Bay Corporation is here in the Wormery with a bunch of material. What do they do?
They scoop up Helldiver and ask him directly in his weird, beady, human little eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Helldiver, can I trust you to fuck shit up?
He sticks out this little tongue and like licks you on the cheek.
Wonderful. Do you think you could be a distraction to those mean, angry gun dealers over there until I can get the rest of the party?
That means
Incredible.
yes.
And so she takes Helldiver and puts him down, and kind of like one of those cars that you got to pull back to let go. She gives him a little scritch, pulls him back, and then lets him go.
All six legs go zum, 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 and and Helldiver goes running over. You watch Helldiver run up to this it's like a 4-wheel pull wagon that has like the logo of the Ptolemy Bay Company on the side. It goes up and it starts. You see it like sneak underneath and start pulling the pegs out of the wheels, like with its little mouth.
Oh.
Yeah. And where does Anais go?
Back to the Wormery, the greater Wormery area.
Sure. Yeah.
To figure out where the rest of the party is.
Okay.
And
I think it doesn't
back
take
on
long.
Ptolemy Bay.
You knew they were going to the bar, so you check those places first, and they're still in the bar with a drunk guy and a very charming Aelfir man. Charming.
Yeah, they walk into the bar and regard the place. There's the like a
exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And
Most
they're
Wormsley. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. It's very good. And then sidle up to Bill, just tap on the shoulder, like,
oh,
hey, Ptolemy Bay, the company is here. They're here
great.
right now.
Right, lovely. Thank you for this information.
Hello, I'm Rami. Waves at you. Did you want? It's getting crowded. I'll leave. And
Wait. Do you have a lead on where the delving machine is, or were you hoping we had a lead?
More the first. Well, I was. I don't know. Conduct your business. I will. What say I wait by the exit? And that way, whenever you're done buying guns, I suppose, you can come and find me there.
Oh, have you seen this man?
He's like, God, no. What? Why does he look sexy in that pose?
Oh, yeah.
The artist took some liberties. Yes.
Oh.
There has to be one of thick Omni-Man insect.
Yes. 100%.
Someone got thirsty with it.
Pulls out her folder. Yeah, that's that one.
It says, no, that is something I don't have a lead on. But I'll leave you to your business. Obviously this is important. And he leaves some money on the counter for the drinks, and you realize that he put down enough to tip for like you guys as well, just a little bit of it.
Oh.
And then he leaves.
So, what do we want to do about Ptolemy Bay?
Well, I mean, why would they be here if not looking for the Delver, right?
But also, they would be trapped here now.
Not if they find the delving machine. They might have a lead.
They destroyed that haven.
We can't let them do that here.
Not to these good old folks.
I
Oh,
know I
God.
just met him 6 hours ago, but if anything happens to a Howie, I will kill everyone here and then myself.
I didn't even do anything to you.
Don't care. I will protect him at all costs.
Where is Metal Man? That he would be an essential asset to people with guns.
Smash cut. Where is our metal man? At a craps game? Smash cut to you standing at a craps game. Right? I need you're participating in a craps game. I need you to roll here.
Done.
This is for obviously for supplies stress. So we can see how it goes.
All right, let's see.
So this is definitely, I mean, fortune is the skill here, but or the stress here too. But what are you gonna roll for gambling?
For gambling, I think we will try to endure.
Yeah, sure. Endure your compulsion, your addiction.
And let's endure some religion. Oh no.
No.
Would you say
Haven would be great.
Haven? Yeah, but let's say Haven.
Yeah. Endure Haven is perfect. What you do?
Increase our
10, baby, jackpot, or something, or whatever this version of cards or dice has. And, so basically, we'll say that you win D4 worth of resources if you want to add like D4 gambling winnings to your resources with that 10. But also, what are you asking these folks?
So what I can imagine that Swines with the Wind is going to ask is that he's going and looking for he's looking for smaller, different gambling dens that might be more personal. Overall, these ones are a lot larger in scale. So Wines is he plays his move, he wins, and when he wins, he's like he pulls like some of the gold towards himself, and he's rejoicing. This is good. Winning is something I do a lot of. I win all the time. Where I come from, I gamble at the Manticore high up on the spire, and I must say, all your moves are weak. But do you know whose moves were not weak? Let me tell you of a man double the size of me.
I feel like the camera pans out and it's just a bunch of little kids sitting on the ground. Like
Honestly, all I can think of is moves like Jagger, and I can't imagine like a 2-story foot Mick Jagger.
I wonder, have you seen a man who holds cards that make it look so tiny? I love you. So tiny.
One of the kids, the one kid raises his hand. My favorite color is purple. And then another kid raises his hand. And he says, I saw a man like that. He was a knight. He was bigger than you.
Okay, we weren't comparing sizes, and purple's a good color. Blue is better.
Purple's a great color.
Purple sucks compared to blue. Shut up. No.
This little kid hopes that's crying. So Wines like hyper focuses on the other one and says,
How big was he? Did he look like me? Or did he with big ears? Did he look
He didn't
like...
have any ears because he had a big helmet on.
Okay.
And he was taller than you. And he had a name, a knight name, a real knight name. He was called the Knight of Larks.
Would this sound familiar to Wines?
let's see here. Would it? Roll me discern technology. An 8. Ooh, that's good. And a 2 die roll. Because that's no stress for you. You search your memory for mention of the Night of Larks. And you remember that there's a legend of this veteran delver called the Night of Larks, specifically mudlarks, like the type of bird.
Okay.
And people would mistake him for a Vermissian knight, but it's not because he was a Vermissian knight, it's because he took parts of their armor when he defeated them. And he harvests trophies from their remains. And legend is, there's a couple different rumors. One says that the Knight of Larks was summoned from the heart when the Vermissian project was completed. Like he's like a golem, you know? Some people say that he's secretly a famous adventurer in disguise named Excalibur Carter. There are some rumors that say that he is one of the former lovers of Salvacious Grindel, who's this famous huntress who founded the Salvacious Grindel hunting clubs that roam around the heart. And some people say that he's like just some sellsword, and it's a title. It's like the Dread Pirate Roberts. It changes from person to person. But he's supposed to be huge and like super intimidating.
So, you've seen this knight before?
Even though you're talking directly at this child, they raise their hand again. I have to go to the bathroom.
Listen to me, okay?
Whines like he does picking up the pig. He slowly reaches up for the child, grabs the child.
He goes limp like this and hangs there in your arms.
Do you like money?
Yeah.
Okay. Money is more important than pee-pee
Yeah.
and poo-poo. Okay?
Okay.
If I give you my winnings that I just won right here from all you little shits, you tell me when and where you last seen this person.
Okay.
So tell me.
2 things happen at once. The first is that he says, yesterday. And he points like to the other side of like the cave. He's like, over there. And then a big wet spot forms on his pants.
Whines drops him immediately.
Okay, great.
Doesn't pay him and walks that way.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
This episode has everything: worms, shit, regrowing
pissing
bones, kids pissing themselves, and
Doctor?
bullying children.
You made
Okay,
this
you
kid
got it.
piss his pants and you didn't pay him?
Fuck you, little bastard. I'm out of here, man.
Elfier,
Good luck on that
man.
dice.
Yeah.
Elfair, man.
Yeah. I hope
What are
that
you
kid
gonna
was an Elfrid kid. I hope he was like a little gnoll or a drow.
Oh,
or
he's a
something like
drow.
that.
They're-
Oh, I
no,
made it
no, he was a
better
little
then.
drow
I made it
kid.
better. I should have spiked him to the ground then.
He just
I should've-
walked right into the
Cool, I
stereotype.
spiked him right into the earth.
The Elfair just punching down.
You go to like head over to the spot where the kid said he saw him, and then you see the Ptolemy Bay Company rolling into town, shouting about like one of them, not a beggar, somebody else is like, Ptolemy Bay Corporation. Like they're giving a whole sales pitch, like guns for sale, protect yourselves in the madness of the Amyrran Zone, and they're just like giving a whole marketing spiel. And then maybe you could see the rest of your group stalking from the edges as well.
All right. DM, could you roll me like a die 6 and pick like odds or evens for me?
What do you want? Are you trying to determine your own motivations here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing
odds
Wine is like he's like looking back and forth like shit.
Okay, number 1, remember your beats.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, evens you do it, odds you don't.
Okay.
It's evens. You do it.
Okay. Wines looks over at the grouping, looks back over to where he was pointing. Well, they got it.
Goes back. Oh gosh, you head over to you get over there. It's just a place. There's no sign that says the Knight of Larks was here. I mean, there might be some giant footprints, but they've been walked over by now. But if that kid was telling the truth, which he seemed like he was, he would if it was yesterday, he would still remember it. It's a really distant rumor, but
Wines approaches the area, looking down at the footprints. It enters into a building of sorts, not a building, but a tent.
It is just no, it's just some sort of wall. It's just a wall. I mean, it's just he must have seen this guy walking around, if he did see it, and he didn't inflate it like kids do sometimes.
Is there anybody around?
Yeah, there is a shop not too far away. There are some people who would have been here yesterday. If you want to ask around a bit, that would be you don't even need to roll if you just want to go in and ask someone.
Yeah, he would. Wines would approach the first shopkeep that he sees and kind of puts his hands
Welcome to Worms and More. Can I interest you in some worm leather? Finest worms from the Wormsea.
No, I've killed the biggest worm in all of the Wormy Sea. Big and white. Now for me. I'm good.
Sure you have.
I did. Are you doubting me?
Are you here to shop? Can I help you with something while you're in my shop?
I'm inside of your shop because I need something from you that's not worm leather.
And you're in the wrong shop.
Puts 2 pieces of gold on the from 3 pieces of gold from the winnings, half of the winnings from that hand.
Kid money.
No. This is full man money. Big
man money.
Yes, and the best part about big man money is big man money would help me be pointed in a general direction of a man named Knight of the Lark. Have you seen
the Knight of Larks?
The Knight of Larks. Have you seen this person?
Indeed, I saw him yesterday with a group with a few others. You know who is with him? There was a celebrity.
Who?
Do you know, what's her name? So fancy, she's always naked. Sieja sings the strange.
Oh. He keeps very interesting company. The others that he was with, violent nature, looking calm.
Oh, no. No, they looked like, they were all, too clean to be in the Wormry. Don't know how they ended up here. Like they just, I don't know, walked through the door from a bathhouse or something.
Okay. Yesterday, you say?
Yeah, yesterday. A bunch of Elfir come walking through. There's the Knight of Larks. He's got to be the Knight of Larks. He must have been 8-9 feet tall.
Okay. What was that lady's name one more time?
Sieja sings the strange. The lady from all the gossip newspapers. Or back when, we weren't trapped in a hellhole.
We are trapped in a hellhole, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Sure you don't want any worm meat?
No.
All right.
Wines turns around and walks back towards the group.
And you hear, as you leave, you hear him say to somebody in the back room, "It's
it's a buyer's market. The market's flooded with worm meat."
So all of you are out there. You all have eyes on the Ptolemy Bay Corporation company represented. It was the caravan of weapons dealers that are here at the Wormery. What do you do?
So what's the plan? I'm down to gut him in the street, but
How's Helldiver doing? Well, hold on.
Helldiver has now successfully removed the pegs from the back 2 wheels and is trying to push the wheel off. And just as Bill asks that, he gets one off, and the whole wagon goes whomp down on one peg.
Well, we have a little bit of mischief going on. So that's a start.
I could cause some more and then back up whatever play you all go for.
What's the goal? We taking them out?
I think that has to be, and maybe could find some kind of way to. I mean, they're whoever their captain is has to have like a camp or something, or some kind of
Shake them down for information.
operations. Yeah.
Shake them down, take them out?
Sure.
I imagine Wines approaches from the back at that point.
Mhm.
Has his hand on his big now great sword shield.
We're doing that thing.
Which one?
Those are the assholes from before, right? Burnt that town down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They destroyed
so
the
we're-
kebab
Kebab
place.
stand
So we're doing the thing then.
Okay.
in the memory of the kebab place. Yeah.
For kebabs.
For the kebabs.
Amber.
Everyone's hands in. On 3, we say for the kebabs. You ready? 1,
1,
2,
2, 3.
3.
For the
For the
kebab.
Kebabs. Fuck.
Amber,
Damn
on
it.
behalf of Helldiver, would you make me either a stealth or evade roll at this point?
Yeah, I will. Evade. Do like what, or just plain evade?
Well, I think it would be a haven, or I'm not sure what else would apply here, but he's basically trying to. They're investigating this wagon problem now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I'm
he gets
just
away.
wanting to make sure that this haven gets destroyed.
Who doesn't want
That's
to
a
destroy a
9.
haven? No stress. Yeah. He is not spotted. He blends into the crowd, and then you realize that Helldiver is wearing a little trench coat and a top hat, and is just like walking around like a person with 6 legs, and like blending in very, very secretively, and comes back to you.
Do any of such a stupid play. Are any of the merchants mercenaries touching the cart?
I think the 2 of them. There's like a handful, probably 1 for each of you. And 2 of them are at the back of the cart trying to figure out, like, lift up the cart and trying to figure out what's wrong, why the wheel come off.
Shall we kick this off then?
I mean, I don't give a damn about my reputation.
Shubil points to the 2 in the back and just yells to them, "Hey, that's mine now!"
That's right, Bill, you yell it at them, says the voice in your head.
I'm going to use Bill's minor ability, A King Demands.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Once per
They're like,
session,
they've got hands on this cart. Tell us
Yeah.
what this does.
Once per session, you can demand that a target holding any item gives you that item, and they must obey.
Fantastic. So you point over at them and say, "Hey, that's mine now." And they all sort of like react and look up at you, and they go, "He's right. This is his. We should give him this cart." And they both like pick it up from the back where the wheels came off and start wheeling it over towards you. The other half of their group, including a beggar thunder chaser, look
Oh yeah,
around
she's here.
and look up and see all of you and says, "Hey, wait a minute. I know you guys from somewhere."
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
We've only ever seen you none ever.
No. We've met before in high rise. She goes, "Put that cart down." And the guys recording the cart are like, "Can't, it belongs to that guy over there." And they start pushing it in your direction. And a beggar says to the other 3, says, "Get those guys. I want to talk to them." And they all start moving towards you. I think that's a good place to end this week's episode. And we'll see how that plays out next time. It's definitely on the road to chaos. It's definitely starting. Y'all, that was fantastic. What a great episode. Thanks for we got a little raid at the end, like you do if you start and end at half hour or hour marks. That's what happens. So let's go around, and we're going to talk to everybody here and talk about our week and what we enjoyed and where else we can find you and what else you've got going on. We'll do it in reverse order than we did on the way here. So I think that Benji went last. So I'll start with Benji this time. Benji, I was so happy I'm so happy that you are down this path of looking for mourner's clothes. And I just excited to put in the detail of they have tambourines. And excited to see what Toby does. What else you got going on?
Hi, I'm Benji. You can find me online at Chance47 on all the socials. And on Saturdays, you can find me over at that D'Angelo's channel where we do some Mythic Odyssey of Theros, where I play Triton Barbarian, who's a sailor. He's a sailor.
Big muscle fish, man.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it. Well, thank you so much. It was great fun, as always. Derek. Derek. The kids. And every once in a while, I know that if I set you up, there's always a moment in every episode where you will just go. And you will give a Derek monologue, which is what I call it in my head. And I was so glad for today's, which is just you schooling a bunch of kids and then trash talking them and then shaking them down for information.
Gambling takes no victims.
This is big mad money was my line of the week, I think. Just what? Derek, what else do you have going on? And where else can we find you?
Well, you can find me at the Top Derek Mountain on all handles and socials, and on Twitch at least 4 days out of the week, playing cowboy games and Wild RP. You can also catch every single Sunday, as well as Walking Dead Season 2 of Dead City. The 3rd episode just went ahead and landed, and you can see my face in it. I'm actually kind of excited. I got screen time, baby. It was Zombie Boy. So it was it was a great time, great experience, and overall the behind the scenes are cool, and so are all the actors in the production to support them as well on top of that as well. But that's me. Hey. Spiking children to the ground.
Yeah, way to go. Good for you, spiking children to the ground. Let's go up and talk to RJ. RJ, Bill is always a delight. I think that my Bill moment was I love that he has gone full bard. And that he slid into that bar and just started playing with this drunken old adventurer guy. And that was pretty fun. There was another moment, and I'm trying to remember what it was, that was brilliant, but I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It's always a joy. So thank you for being you and for being fantastic. What else do you have going on?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJS282 across all my socials. Typically, I'm over on Mondays at the Indoor Adventures, where we're doing a D&D 4th edition game where it's the Wild West. Gold is your magic, and I got to suplex a train.
Nice. Man, trains are big right now.
Trains are so big right now.
You suplexed a train?
Final
What?
Fantasy 6, 7... suplex train. Hell yeah, brother. Tuesdays here for now, and Saturdays over at GGK with Sid, where we play Blades in the Dark. Things are heating up, y'all. We're like endgame. We're fighting the establishment, quite literally.
All right, cool. You've been in endgame for a while. When are you guys going to beat the establishment?
I don't like one.
I've heard you say this for a few weeks in a row.
Yeah, we had to miss a couple weeks of scheduling, so it's.
I want the establishment going down.
Me too.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
True, but it did fall in a day.
It sure fall in one. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you, Sid.
Ah.
Sid, I love Jesse's doctor visit today. Which is so fucking weird. Because that's heart medicine,
That
right?
is
It's
the
like,
heart
maybe,
right there.
Maybe
That
this
was
dude's a
the
doctor.
epitome of the heart. Your doctor?
Like,
Maybe.
My
Let's find
hands don't
out.
have any blood or bones, and you might be a doctor. Inject me.
You know what? You miss every pitch that you don't go for. You know, it's just
Amazing. What's going on in Sid's world?
I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid. Like RJ said, I'm over on Saturdays over on GGK, 2 G's and a K game nights, where we're playing some Blades in the Dark. We are also about to begin a new Blades adjacent system on Mondays, Fistful of Darkness. We are finishing up our quiet year to do some world building, which is so freaking fun. So you can come check that out, or you can wait a week or two and you can jump on in our brand new game, playing another big weird lady who makes stuff and blows them up. It's gonna be great.
Have a type. Big and weird.
Big and weird.
Fistful of Darkness. That's the Blades Wild West one, right?
Yes, it is.
Amazing. So good. I love it. Thank you for being here. And then, of course, as always, Amber, so glad that you're back this week. So glad that I get to be your weird possum child with
Please,
6 legs.
I require literally everybody in my person to be a weird 6-legged possum child. So
Okay.
if you know me in person, sorry.
What you got going on? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Gen Con, that just launched over the weekend, all of the events. Guess who's running 6 LARPs in 3 days?
Hope it's not me. Oh, it's you. Good.
Yeah. Hey, sign up for a litany of LARPs if you have never tried LARPing before at Gen Con this year. I'll be running 3 sessions each of my jam, which is a beautiful, I can't say beautiful. It's a good time. You get to play as like teenage musarchs. You're musicians who basically get to learn. You basically get to control the entire dance, like a high school dance or whatever, during the time your song is playing, and it's really wholesome and really sweet. And one time I kissed a guy on the mouth, and it was awesome. And then
Sounds great.
Yeah, great. Also, come play the Flower Court, which is a LARP by J Dragon, where you get to be horny, establishment, futuristic, cyberpunk monarchs who kill and or flirt with each other, and it's fine.
So just like real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
awesome.
I also recommend other LARPs that are going to be run through Grimoire Productions, who I'm going through. Grimoire Productions always does, oh god, what is it? Something funny happened on the way to Toontown. I think they're doing a small iteration of Lies and Liability, which is a Regency era LARP, which is really great. So Gen Con's going to be your place to try LARPing for the first time if you've never done it. So
Sounds awesome.
yeah.
Man, I wish I was going now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Cass. You are fantastic. I've been Doc Rimbo, your games master. Everyone stay tuned. We may be rating someone, probably. Who knows? But we'll be back here next week to see what happens in the Wormery, and then to push on maybe towards Mourner's Close and see what's going on over there. Until then, thanks for being here. And don't forget that the decontamination process is optional. See you next time.
Everyone say bye.